If you're looking at adding a headliner to your Jeep Wrangler roof and you're just now realizing that they're hundreds of dollars and you're probably thinking, hey, I could probably do this myself. Well, I'm sure you can, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And you could even use your own fabric, but today I'll be using black carpentry fabric because I want to add some of my own patches that I'm collecting. My name is Matt Zeffi, and I just started this Jeeped Up channel to explore Jeep videos, overlanding, camping gear reviews, and things of that nature. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on so that you're updated every time I post. I also have some camping videos on my channel now if that's something you're interested in. So before we get started in the instruction part of this video, let's talk about some of the materials that you'll need to get started. The insulation foam board, just run with a 1/2 inch because that's what I actually did. They come in these massive boards and you can get it at Lowe's, Home Depot, or probably any other store like those. And this is only like $10 to $15. I had to use one full board. I didn't need any more than that, but that's because I didn't have to really redo any cuts. So if you make any mistakes, there's not a lot of room for error. So you may want to get 2 if you're already expecting some mistakes, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Number 2 is going to be fabric. Now I spent $47 on the fabric because I wanted to get like kind of a specific fabric to imitate the carpeting on the Jeep Wrangler, and I think that it came really close. So I actually like that. I didn't choose any funky fabric, but of course you can probably cut costs by just going to Joann's and getting a fabric or something like that. But I spent $47. I didn't use all the fabric, so I've actually used it on other projects as well. So $47 for that massive roll of fabric also has helped for other projects. Next, I added sound deadening mats, and these aren't completely necessary. You could go without it. I'm not even sure that they added a bunch of benefit, to be honest, but I added it just in case it helped a little bit, and these were $27. I then added adhesive Velcro strips. This was $20. You could pick this up at Joann's or just order it on Amazon. And then I used a sandpaper sponge. That was around $3, I believe. And contact cement to actually make sure that the fabric stayed connected to the foam board. And then some spray adhesive to also just reduce the amount of contact cement. And for the inside portions of the fabric, I used that on the foam board. For all of these things, I'm going to include the links to pretty much everything down below, whether it be on Amazon or somewhere else. And these are affiliate links, so they do help the channel. And I had much of the adhesive and certain things already in my home, so it wasn't as expensive of a project. Now, to actually get started making these things, I would first start by taking your entire top off. I would start with the 2 front pieces, and what I did was I taped 4 pieces of paper together and I kind of traced around the front tops, and then I transferred that to a cardboard template, and then I used that cardboard template to make the foam board cutouts. There is a little bit of leeway because you're going to be putting fabric on there, but overall you want to make sure that these cuts are as accurate as possible. And of course you could just place them into the T-tops, and that'll help to make sure that everything's accurate. For all of the back pieces, I would say just take measurements and then round out the sides, because to make a template for those back pieces, you're just going to be taking so much extra time, where it's so much easier to just measure all the sides and then make those cuts afterwards. And there's a lot of leniency in the back, I would say more so than the front parts. So your best bet is to just take measurements. Now, when you move into the upholstery part, of course, like I was saying again, you could choose any fabric you want. I contemplated doing like a digital camo sort of thing, but overall I'm happy that I went with more of the black carpeting sort of look. So I think it's really clean and finished. It definitely looks like a very professionally done job. So what I did was I used the spray adhesive to spray the entire foam board, and then for the edges I used the contact cement around that because it's a little bit stronger, and I put weight on it to hold down all of the sides while it dried. It does dry relatively quickly, but adding the weight just helps it to kind of sit there so you don't have to just hold it the entire time. It makes it a lot easier. If you have little clamps, that'll make that even easier, but you want to be careful that it doesn't indent because it is foam board and they can get dented pretty easily. Next, you're going to want to prep the roof of the car for the sound deadening mat and also the Velcro straps. Now, I recommended these Velcro straps, but if you're planning to just leave them to implement this entire headliner permanently, which I realistically should have just done. I probably would have just done like liquid nails or something like that. I think the Velcro straps are kind of pointless, and I should have just did liquid nails or something. So you could just go that direction. I think it's probably even cheaper if you do that. But whatever you do, you're going to want to use the sandpaper sponge to sand it down just lightly, nothing crazy, then vacuum any debris that does fall from that, because there will be a little bit of particles. This just helps the whole entire thing adhere to it a little bit better. And then from there, I place the sound deadening mats on some of the gaps after I sanded it down. And then I put the Velcro straps on some of the lips of the roof. And like I was saying before, there are a few like small pieces that go in the gaps in the back that may not be 100% necessary. They definitely are more time consuming, but I think it just kind of like makes it look that much more professional. So I recommend adding them. I think it looks cool. And they weren't too hard to actually do. You just kind of make little trapezoid shape sort of things, and they fit right in there. So once all your Velcro straps or your liquid nails placed, you're ready to actually place all of the pieces into the Jeep. And this is, of course, where the finishing product comes out. So did this help with the road noise? I haven't observed a ton of reduction in the road noise. Honestly, I put my rooftop tent on around the same time that I actually added the insulation and everything. So, you know, that added a lot of road noise as it is. I have to figure out something for that whole scenario. I know a fairing might help, but if you have any suggestions for reducing the road noise from my rooftop tent, definitely leave that in the comment below, because I am looking for some solutions. So I haven't noticed a huge reduction in road noise, but it's hard to really measure that. I kind of blast music regardless, and any friends that come in my car are gonna complain about the road noise anyway, and they could get the boot. And as for insulation, I feel like I can tell a difference in that side, just being that it's a little bit cooler in the summer months and it feels a little bit warmer in the winter months. It just feels like the Jeep is a little bit better insulated. And of course I could add more insulation around the Jeep. I might do that eventually, because sometimes I will end up car camping if it's ridiculously cold. But I feel like I have noticed a difference in that area. Well, I hope this video helps to do your own headliner for your Jeep. You could save a whole lot of money and get really creative with it. If you do decide to use these instructions, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you have any questions as well. I would love to hear from you. And if you're into Jeep Wrangler videos, overlanding, camping, things of that nature, and gear reviews, definitely subscribe to this channel, like this video if you got anything out of it, and turn those notifications on, because boy, do I have a lot of videos coming in the near future. I'm super stoked about it, and I hope you are too. Well, I'll see you guys next time.